Ellen was like really weird and not nice to me for most of my career, and like because I opened for her in the 1980s.
Actually, nothing I wouldn't eat or wouldn't drink or wouldn't try. If the person okayed it, I would eat a human. If you were at a very fancy restaurant and they were like a tiny piece of human meat.
No.
All right, let's do this. How do we know if someone is a cannibal?
For nearly 2 decades, she was the undisputed queen of daytime television. She danced through the aisles, handed out massive checks to crying families, and ended every single broadcast with a simple, wholesome catchphrase, "Be kind to one another." But today, that pristine image has entirely shattered. The dancing has stopped, the studio lights have gone dark, and the beloved host has quietly packed up her life and fled the country. For years, people were told to stop asking questions about the powerful figures dominating Hollywood and their ties to disgraced financiers like Jeffrey Epstein. We were told it was all just wild internet gossip, but after a massive drop of unsealed court files, federal raids on major music moguls, and a flood of former employees breaking their silence, those old rumors have morphed into unavoidable realities. Suddenly, the friendly face of daytime TV is being linked to some of the most twisted and unspeakable controversies of the century. From bizarre coded emails and unthinkable Hollywood dinner parties to infamous late-night hotel gatherings with Diddy, the truth behind the curtain is darker than anyone could have ever imagined. And once you see the pieces fit together, you will never look at your favorite celebrities the same way again. To understand how deep this rabbit hole goes, you have to look at the paper trail left behind by the elite. According to investigators who reviewed the unsealed Epstein records, his inner circle operated like a tight-knit secret society. They didn't just casually chat about their weekends, they spoke in a highly strange, almost unrecognizable code. If you looked at the surface of these emails, you would think these billionaires and global power players were absolutely obsessed with cheap fast food. Words like pizza, pasta, and especially jerky appeared over and over again in highly classified, urgent communications. In one message, an associate wrote to Epstein saying the crew really appreciated the pizza. In another, someone attached a document and wrote that it was better than a Chinese cookie, suggesting they go out for pizza and grape soda again. But these weren't lunch plans. Lawmakers and forensic experts who viewed the unedited files stated clearly that this language was deeply disturbing. Adult, health-obsessed billionaires do not urgently courier hot dogs and grape soda across the country in insulated bags. One email even mentioned a client reacting to a photo by saying a woman was radiating a soft glow of bliss and followed it up with the phrase, "Yeah, that's the pizza." Representative Anna Paulina Wuna confirmed what the internet had long suspected. These were not food items. These were highly coordinated, deeply sick euphemisms used to describe minors and the trafficking of human beings. The casual, friendly tone of these messages is exactly what makes them so terrifying. But as the files became public, the spotlight began to shift from the convicted predators to the mainstream celebrities who allegedly helped keep their dark world spinning.
There was also a lot of language that appears to be coded regarding food. I wanted to let you know the crew really appreciated the pizza. Another email read, "This is better than a Chinese cookie, see attached. Let's go for pizza and grape soda again." This one talks about, "Yeah, that's the pizza. You mean radiating a soft glow with a look of bliss and excitement." There's one more, I think, in this list as well. "Sorry, I have no stomach for even the slightest aggro. I don't have the stomach for it for any drama, imaginary or real. I'm still fragile off the last one and scared of shadows." This is in response to some videos that were shared where Jeffrey Epstein himself says, "I watched all of these videos, don't send any more." And then Ghislaine is like, "I can't stomach any of this." What the fuck did you send that Jeffrey Epstein was like, "No more"?
This is where the rumors surrounding some of Hollywood's most beloved names really began to gain traction. For a long time, the daytime talk show circuit was viewed as a safe space, a massive promotional machine where actors and musicians could play games, share a laugh, and look incredibly relatable to the everyday public. But underground whistleblowers and internet sleuths began painting a very different picture of the industry. According to these rumors, certain highly connected hosts weren't just entertainers, they were fixers. They were the bridge between the clean, public-facing world of Hollywood and the dark, hidden underbelly of the global elite. Whispers began to circulate that the daytime queen herself was heavily involved in this shadow network. While nothing was ever proven in a court of law, the allegations claimed she smoothed over introductions, connected powerful people with young talent, and helped keep the industry's most sinister secrets completely quiet. When the Epstein files broke the internet, people were absolutely shocked to see how many beloved, family-friendly celebrities were deeply entrenched in a world of private islands and offshore bank accounts. The contrast between a host demanding her audience be kind while allegedly rubbing shoulders with disgraced financiers was a tough pill to swallow. But just when the public thought the allegations couldn't get any weirder, a brand new theory took over the internet, and it involved a rumor so disturbing it sounds like something straight out of a horror movie.
Earlier, I'll give you another example here. Epstein sends a message to someone. She looks pregnant, reacting to a photo, and the client replies back to Epstein, "You mean radiating a soft glow with the look of bliss and excitement? Yeah, that's the pizza." I cannot be clearer than this, that this is a code word. It makes no sense in that context whatsoever. And this on top of the example I gave you earlier, when his virologist gave him the medicine for having an erection, erectile dysfunction, I assume, or maybe could be even Viagra, and then told him to wash his hands, go have pizza and grape soda. Has been mentioned time and time again. Having adult men, successful men that are very health oriented, constantly talk about pizza with grape soda, which I've never heard before.
Yeah, I've never heard of pizza and grape soda before this. I don't know if that specific combination was part of the whole Pizzagate thing, but it's definitely mentioned a lot because I saw that phrase, so I looked it up and was like, is this actually like in there multiple times? And it most definitely is.
There's another one here. Have you seen the beef jerky mentioned as well? There's an email here from Jeffrey Epstein. Someone else says, Francis has time to come tomorrow to show me how to make it. Jerky, anyone? He will also bring you a taste of his jerky recipe from the restaurant. And sends a warm hello. He's working at a restaurant called Coop's. Wait for it, beef jerky and steak. Yes, down at 3 p.m. There's other emails of him talking about beef jerky. Another one here, Jeffrey Epstein sending it to Steve Hansen saying, hope you're feeling better. Did we analyze the beef? Did we analyze the jerky? Now there's talks about jerky, referencing human meat. It could be for scientific research, could be something else that's even sicker. But there's more emails here talking about beef jerky. Have you had time to go through those? There's one here. Thank you so much. Super cool. IT guy setting up Surface right now. We are ridiculously excited. And beef jerky, delicious. Thank you. Thanksgiving. So yeah.
It is very. Now I've got all those emails saved. I'd actually had somebody send me all of those to say, hey, would you check this out? So I have them. I have not read through all of them, but there's no shortage of terms that are phrased in a peculiar way. Muffin is another one. I've seen that a couple of times. I talked about when he says whoops, that seems to be in very, sometimes he says that in very odd terms that seem like they're referring to somebody dying or getting, so there definitely seem to be code words.
It started with a completely bizarre interview featuring Chrissy Teigen, a model and longtime friend of the daytime elite. During a casual conversation, she was asked a highly unusual question about whether she would ever be open to eating human flesh. Instead of laughing it off or calling the question crazy, she doubled down. She flat out stated that if the person okayed it, she would absolutely try it.
Actually, nothing I wouldn't eat or wouldn't drink or wouldn't try. If the person okayed it, I would eat a human. If you were at a very fancy restaurant and they were like a tiny piece of human meat.
No. I think the only way
you wouldn't try a tiny bite?
No.
Really?
Absolutely not.
Is that terrible?
Yet, soon people started connecting this interview to an old, terrifying video from 2009. A young model named Gabriela Jimenez was filmed having a complete mental breakdown outside of a luxury hotel. She was screaming, crying hysterically, and claiming to the police that she had just witnessed powerful guests engaging in an unthinkable act of consuming human meat. When you look back at how young, vulnerable stars were treated on daytime television, the warning signs were practically blinding. One of the most infamous examples involves Justin Bieber. Today, he is known for stepping away from the spotlight and focusing on his peace. But back then, he was the biggest teenage star on the planet, and the industry treated him like a commodity. During one highly uncomfortable appearance on daytime TV, the host brought up paparazzi photos that had been taken of him completely exposed while on a private vacation in Bora Bora. Bieber was clearly mortified. He explained how violated he felt, noting that the photographers had hidden in boats just to capture his most private moments. Instead of offering sympathy, the host projected the invasive photos onto a massive screen behind him for millions to see. She then began grilling him about the woman in the background of the photo, demanding to know if they were dating.
Lauren, it was fun.
Yeah. I can't believe you got in that water.
It was so cold, it was like 50 degrees.
Look at you. So it's a beautiful video, so if you want to see the whole thing, it's gorgeous. Speaking of you in your underwear, let's talk about the paparazzi shot in Bora Bora.
Okay.
So you are obviously in a private bungalow.
Yeah.
And because usually we're all pretty good at spotting paparazzi.
Yeah.
They hide in boats and pretend to be fishermen, and we're like, you're paparazzi. I mean, we're pretty good at it. How did you not see that there was paparazzi there?
Well, I just didn't see them. I think I wasn't really looking out for them either, so.
Was there a boat, when you think back on it now, can you see where they may have been?
Yeah, they're definitely in a boat. Yeah.
And how quickly after that was shot did you realize that happened? Did that go on wire right away?
Yeah, it was pretty much like a couple days. It was like a couple days later, Scooter hit me. He was like, yo, I hate to tell you this, but your penis is on the internet. I was like, what? And so then the first thing I saw was like the censored one, and they had like the black thing over it. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, I don't know what this is gonna look like. And then it wasn't as like bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
It wasn't like terrible.
I'm no expert, but I heard that it was good.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, what amazed me, though, is that got so much attention, and I was in the bungalow next to you, and when I saw it, I was shocked.
Yeah.
And I don't know how people didn't see. I was right there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's funny.
My hat! So there's a young woman in the background you can see in the bed.
Yeah, I know.
Is that your girlfriend?
No, it's not.
Just a girl that you were in Bora Bora with?
Yeah.
You just brought a friend to Bora Bora?
Yeah.
And you're just naked with your friend?
Why are you putting me on the spot like this? Gosh.
I mean, you can say, why can't you say you're dating somebody?
I'm not dating anyone, though.
She's just a friend?
She's just a friend.
Wow. I have friends, I've never seen them naked like that. And they don't bring me to Bora Bora.
Stop, you're making me blush, dude.
By the summer of 2020, the carefully crafted illusion of the happy, dancing daytime show completely imploded. The pressure wasn't just coming from crazy internet theories anymore. It was coming from inside the building. 36 former employees spoke out in a massive, explosive exposé, detailing a work environment so toxic it left people with severe anxiety and trauma. The claims were absolutely brutal. Staffers alleged rampant harassment, intimidation, and severe misconduct from the top down. But the most revealing details were about the host herself. Former crew members described what they called the Queen's gaze. They claimed that when she was upset, her eyes would physically narrow, her cheekbones would tighten, and she would look at you like a monarch deciding your execution. The turnover rate for male employees was allegedly staggering, with one crew member claiming the show went through 9 different stage managers in a single season. There was an unspoken rule that you were not allowed to look the host in the eye if you passed her in the hallway. Comedian Margaret Cho later added fuel to the fire, claiming she had known the host for years from their early stand-up days, but when Cho appeared as a guest on the talk show, she was treated like an absolute stranger. Cho also revealed a deeply petty story involving the late rock legend David Bowie. Bowie apparently had spent time praising Cho's outfit during his segment, and out of sheer spite, the host completely cut that portion from the final broadcast. The hypocrisy was deafening. The woman who built a billion-dollar brand on the phrase "be kind" was allegedly ruling her studio with an iron fist. The studio launched an investigation, executives were fired, and the host delivered a tearful apology on air, but the audience never really came back. The spell was broken. Yet the toxic workplace was only the tip of the iceberg, because the company she kept off the clock was about to catch up with her in a major way.
Hedda Muscat worked on The Ellen Show back in 2003.
Phony, liar, hypocrite. That's my reaction. She's known about this for 17 years. She's created this culture. I was there from day one. We were all petrified of her. She was not nice.
Because this darkness doesn't just stop at the borders of Hollywood. The elite protection ring is a worldwide syndicate. While the American public was focused on daytime talk show drama, the Epstein files were exposing international ties that reached the highest levels of foreign government. One piece of unsealed evidence included a short video clip showing the convicted predator Jeffrey Epstein receiving a private guided tour of the Louvre Museum in Paris. His tour guide wasn't just some random employee. It was Jack Lang, an 86-year-old former French minister of culture. Lang admitted to knowing Epstein for years, flying on his private planes and riding in his cars, though he claimed he had no idea about the criminal network. But investigative journalists quickly blew a hole in that defense. They revealed that Epstein had set up a massive offshore financial account in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and half of those shares were owned by Jack Lang's own daughter. Her name even appeared in Epstein's final will, signed just days before he supposedly offed himself in a high-security jail cell. He had promised her a staggering $5 million. When the money trail is this thick, the excuses completely fall apart. It proves that the people at the very top of the food chain do not operate by the same laws as the rest of us. They have their own banks, their own private islands, their own deeply coded languages, and their own media fixers to make sure the public never looks too closely. The daytime talk shows, the red carpets, and the award ceremonies are nothing but a glittering distraction designed to keep the masses entertained while the elite operate in the shadows.
Video clip is a short one, just 3 seconds long. It's part of the Epstein files, and it shows the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein being shown the Louvre by Jack Lang. The 86-year-old former culture minister knew Epstein for years and used his car and his plane. Lang told French media that he'd met Epstein through Woody Allen and would have cut off all contact had he known that he was at the heart of a criminal network. But Lang's family ties to Epstein go beyond casual acquaintances. The French investigative site Mediapart revealed that Epstein opened an offshore account in the U.S. Virgin Islands in 2016, and half of the shares were owned by Caroline Lang, the former minister's daughter. Her name is also in Epstein's will, signed 2 days just before his death in prison. He promised her $5 million. Caroline Lang has also responded to the site, saying the offshore account was meant for art investments, but she was never paid by Epstein or invested financially in it. Mediapart also said that Lang did not declare the St. Thomas account to the French tax authority. Lang has since resigned from her new post as the head of a film producers group.
The truth we are all desperately looking for seems to be buried somewhere under mountains of confirmed court documents, personal grudges, internet speculation, and the very real pain of people who were completely mistreated and silenced by the industry. The fall of the daytime queen isn't just a story about a mean boss or a toxic workplace. It is a massive wake-up call about the absolute illusion of celebrity culture. We gave these people our time, our trust, and our money because they smiled at us through a screen and told us to be kind. But behind the scenes, they were sharing encrypted emails about pizza and jerky, ignoring the panicked warnings of young stars, and begging for access to the darkest hotel rooms in the music industry. The mask has finally slipped, and the audience is no longer clapping. What do you think the real truth is? Was the mass exodus to the UK really about an election, or are the feds finally closing in on the untouchables? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden truth of Hollywood.
I know I'm about to sound completely insane, but just hear me out. This pertains to the Epstein files, the Clintons, and cannibalism, and I feel completely fine and I'm totally okay. Alright, let's do this. How do we know if someone is a cannibal? Well, they could have the Curio disease, which is a fatal neurodegenerative disease that spreads through eating brain tissue. It has a long incubation period, 10 to 30 years. Early symptoms are headaches, coordination issues, anxiety, and inappropriate laughter. Middle stage, severe tremors and shaking. loss of balance, and slurred speech. Late stage, inability to walk, dementia, and the forever sleep. Do you know of any elites rumored to have consumed human flesh? But I'm not accusing anyone of anything, this is just a fun little joke video. With truth in the mix, in Papua New Guinea they call human long pig. We just love to have fun here. No, the Curio disease has nothing to do with the Epstein files or anyone in them. Definitely not the Clintons. And I feel fantastic. So yeah, have a good day. Okay, thank you.
What, Ellen?
Ellen was like really weird and not nice to me for most of my career. And like, because I opened for her in the 1980s.
Oh, you did?
When she was a headliner in comedy clubs and not way before her big fame. And so then when I would do her talk show in the 2000s, she acted like we just met. And I'm like, what?
One of those types. One of those types.
I'm like, what? Like, that's weird. Like,
Right.
it's like, we go way back. What? Like, it's so creepy and weird. But, you know, also, the other thing was David Bowie had been on the show, and he was so excited that the night before that I had come to his show wearing this giant Chinese emperor outfit. He was really thrilled about it, and he talked at length about it. And she cut it out of the show, which made me so mad. And the producer, who's a really good friend of mine, had to call me and tell me, I can't believe she did this, but she cut it out of the show. But you need to know that he was going on and on about your outfit. He loves you. God said your name.
That is so petty.
Which is so rude.
That is so gross.
I don't know if it was personal. Maybe it was for time.
Right.
But still, I'm going to take it personally just because
Honey,
I decided to.
You should have sent her a note and said, send me the footage. I'll post it to my YouTube.
I know it exists somewhere.
The truth we're looking